Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Guys, bear with me. I'm at the tail end of fighting my cold that turned into pneumonia. And the cough, well, it just wants to linger on. So please bear with me. But yes, while still technically suffering from pneumonia, I'm bringing you guys content. How many content creators are willing to do that? And today we're taking a look at the Gerber Kettlebell. Now, this was a particular knife model that I was very excited to get the first time I heard about it. I'm always on the lookout for small EDC modern day pocket knives that have blades under 3 inches. And the blade on the kettlebell is 2.5 inches. Now, guys, as usual, specs in the description box below. Be sure to check that out when the video is over. But yes, blade length on the Gerber Kettlebell, 2.5 inches. I really like that because that means it is going to be street legal in a ton of jurisdictions. At least if we go by blade length. Now, when it comes to a lot of gear, especially knives, I will sometimes look at review videos made by other content creators. Mostly, I just want to see what the item looks like in hand, maybe to get the weight of the item mentioned, because if you don't have an item, if you don't have the actual item itself, you can't weigh it. Yeah, you can buy a digital scale, but you have to buy the item first and then weigh it to find out the weight. And weight to me is important. It's a big factor because if you carry quite a few different EDC items, yeah, their combined weight starts to definitely become an issue at a certain point. So yes, I will sometimes watch videos on YouTube from other content creators to see how big an item is, what it looks like in hand, and to find out the weight. I didn't do that with the kettlebell because I was personally excited to get it, and I really should have. Let me show you guys why. This is the back of the blister pack, and that is a life-size illustration of the Gerber Kettlebell. Now, if you're saying that seems awfully large, well, yes it is. Yes it is. Normally, when a company makes a knife with a 2.5-inch blade, you don't expect the overall package to be somewhat large. That's what Gerber did. Yeah. But let's take a look at the features shown on the back of the blister pack. You have a clip point blade, fine edge or plain edge. You have finger choil number 1, okay? You might be wondering where finger choil number 2 is. There is no number 2. But according to this, it's right here. Yeah, that's not a finger choil. That's part of the handle. I mean, yeah, that's not a finger choil. No clue why Gerber decided to call it that. Further down, we have a frame lock, And that is one of the big advantages of this knife. If you're looking for something that is stout, surprisingly heavy, and just tough as nails, well, the kettlebell might be a good choice for you because the frame lock on it is ridiculously stiff. Good luck unlocking the knife if you're not a professional bodybuilder, or good luck unlocking it one-handed if you're not one of those. And further down, we have a rather generous lanyard hole, and that's a good thing because even though it comes with a pocket clip, it's one position only. So if you're not right-handed and you don't like tip-up carry, well, you can take the pocket clip off, you just can't put it anywhere. So it's a good thing that Gerber provides a rather generous lanyard hole. So at least you can put a lanyard through it if you don't want to use the clip. And the next one, it says steel. Yeah. It is stone-washed, both the blade and this side of the handle. It is steel. And don't worry, guys, I do actually have the knife with me. You'll see it in a moment. And here we have coined aluminum scales on the front, or on this side. Oh, and this coined aluminum scale is available in not just black, as you see here, but sage green. Now, normally I do like sage green. It's normally a very good color, but not when it's combined with a knife where the rest of it is stonewashed. I mean, the sage green, in my opinion, just looks really bad, and I'm glad I got the black. And finally, dual thumb studs. Well, technically dual thumb studs. You do get them, but maybe you can't quite see that. The thumb stud for a right-handed individual is actually just a little bit longer than the thumb stud for a left-handed individual. Yeah, it's a little hard to tell on my camera. Maybe it's a little better this way, but yeah, right-handed thumb stud is longer than the one for a left-handed individual. I hate that. Honestly, if you're going to put dual thumb studs, make them the same length. Otherwise, what's the point? It's like, okay, if you're right-handed, you get a good normal thumb stud. If you're left-handed, screw you. Here's a shorter one. Have fun with that. But, okay, here's the actual knife itself. And yes, branding on the clip. I hate that. I hate that so much. Seriously. Yeah. I don't want to advertise the fact that I'm carrying a knife clipped to the top of the pocket when I'm walking around. And sorry, but I already paid you. So I'm not giving you free advertising that, hey, not only have I got a knife clipped to the top of my pocket, but it happens to be a Gerber knife or a SOG knife, SOG in particular. And I'm a SOG fanboy, but yeah, it's too much. It's too much. But yeah, let's start at the back. As you can see, open pillar design. I really like that. Blade centering is, yeah, it's good. It's very good. Again, open pillar, means this is going to be nice and easy to clean out if it gets dirty. There's the generous lanyard hole. The blade steel itself, and I'm assuming that it's the same steel that's on this side, but the blade steel itself is nothing fancy. Yes, made in China, blade steel, 7CR MOV. In fairness, that's a lot better than 5CR MOV, but thankfully, very few companies use that. Gerber does in some of their multi-tools, but thankfully they went with a slightly higher quality budget steel, 7CR MOV for the blade, and I'm guessing this is also 7CR MOV. The aluminum handle scale, I mean, this looks like it would provide good grip, good traction. No, it's too smooth. Does it provide better traction than maybe a full stainless, stone-washed? Yeah. Here you have full stainless steel, stone-washed frame. Here you have a dimpled aluminum scale. Yes, this does provide more traction compared to this, but yeah, it's still pretty smooth. If you're looking for a grip or a handle that will really lock your grip in there, no. This is pretty smooth, just not as smooth as this side. But it looks pretty. It looks pretty. To me, this looks like a giant black cartoon peanut. Yeah. Peanut shell. But yeah, I mean, it is good looking, at least in the black. In the black, it's good looking. And yep, here you have your frame lock. Notice anything? Yeah. On better frame lock knives, you have, and I'm sure there's a technical term for it, but thanks to my pneumonia, I can't recall it. Maybe my pneumonia or the fact that I'm a little out of it thanks to exhaustion. But you guys who love knives, you know what I'm talking about. It's the circular Rick Hinderer disc that you often see on frame lock knives. Right about here, you get a nice circle, and what that does is, when you unlock the frame lock, it prevents you from going too far back. And that's definitely a good thing. You can tell a cheap frame lock knife because it's not going to have that disc. And this Gerber does not have that disc. Ironically, there are other Gerber knives that do have it, not this one. This is a budget knife through and through. With tax and shipping from eBay, I think I paid, about $25 for this guy. $25. So, yeah, one very easy way to tell a budget frame lock: no hinderer disc to prevent over travel when you're unlocking the knife. Lock up, credit where it's due. As you can see, absolutely excellent. And unlocking this thing, okay, I was able to do it there for some bizarre reason. All the times I did it off camera, I had to use two hands. One to hold the knife and one to unlock it. But somehow I managed to do it there. So there you go. When it's time to film, everything goes wrong. The thumb studs themselves, can you flick them open? Yes. But when you first get the knife, they're so stiff that you're better off riding it open instead of flicking it open. You do get an integrated lower guard, which is definitely appreciated. And for some bizarre reason, Gerber thinks that's a second choil. As you can see, that's just part of the handle. So, okay. No jimping. No jimping anywhere, which, yeah. Come on, guys. No jimping. How much does that cost on a budget knife? Come on now. And here we have the 2.5-inch blade. Now, here's the problem. Check out the position where it locks. Yeah. Rather than a clip point knife, this looks like a single-edged dagger. So, yeah, that's great. Gerber put a 2.5-inch clip point blade on the kettlebell that would normally make it legal in a lot of jurisdictions in America. Heck, most jurisdictions in America. But they made it so that the lockup takes place at a point where this is a folding dirk or dagger. Dirk, single-edged dagger. Why? Why would you do that? Seriously, if the blade engaged sooner, like let's say right around there, now it looks like a clip point blade. But it doesn't. It engages there. So now it looks like a single-edged dagger instead of a clip point. Nice. And you get a nice thick spine on that clip point blade. I did leave out two of the biggest issues with this knife. One, weight, and I'll mention it right now. When I got this in my hand, I was like, what the hell? This thing has got to be at least 5 ounces, maybe 5.5. Nope. It's actually 3.83 ounces. So just under 4 ounces, but it feels heavier. Seriously, this thing feels like at least a 5 or 5.5 ounce knife. That's one of the big issues. It's heavy. For something with a 2.5-inch blade, and I get it, a nice wide handle, so it looks large with a short stubby blade, the weight, it's a heavy knife. It really is. And that doesn't help with the tight pocket carry clip that hasn't loosened up in the time I've had this. But there's an even bigger issue. Let's take a look at the one and only actual choil that comes on this knife. See that? What else do you see? There's the cutting edge, goes all the way back to the very start of the choil. Guys, I covered this in a video 2 years ago from the making of this video. And that video was titled Unsafe Design Flaw on Some Knives. And that was the flaw. How the hell do you have a cutting edge that goes all the way back to the start of the choil? It's right there. So if you're a woman with very skinny fingers and a medium-sized hand, no problem. If you're a guy with large-sized hands, because I wear a large-sized glove, and your fingers are thick, like the average guy, yeah, you bear down, look where that cutting edge is. Yeah. So if you use the choil and risk cutting yourself, you can get a full grip on the knife. I'm not going to do that. So I have to grip it back here. That means 3 fingers at most. Not exactly the most comfortable. It's not uncomfortable, but it's not the most comfortable, and it's not ideal. When you have a large finger choil at the back of the blade, the company that makes that particular knife expects you to use it that way, whether it's a Spyderco Native or a Gerber Kettlebell. I have no clue who this knife is for. Yes, that lock is strong as hell. Absolutely. And technically, yeah, at 2.5 inches, the blade length will be legal for street carry in a lot of places. But other than that, this knife is too wide, too heavy, and that choil is just piss poorly designed. No clue whom this knife is for. Guys, that's it. This is going to be an avoid. I regret having bought this knife. I really do. Guys, stay safe out there. I'll see you soon. And yeah, might want to buy something else if you're looking for a modern day one-hander with a 2.5-inch blade. Take care.